have to bring up the elephant in the room. SSG just came off of a very nice series, and Optic has been sitting in the grand finals for probably about 2 hours waiting for their chance to play. So I always talk about, you know, the fact that, you know, this may affect things. I truly believe it does, but we'll see if that comes to pass here in this series.
Denzo gonna immediately take height here with this sniper, so Optic having the resources necessary to go toe-to-toe with Space Station Gaming here in your grand finals. Optic, so many tournaments have eluded them this year. They've made every grand finals on land consistently, but haven't been able to win a tournament just yet. Made it through the winners here in the grand finals, but weren't able to keep that sniper.
Bound is so annoying to play against. Like, did you see him stay alive there in that situation? That zone even used repulse to get back to the top of tower. Bound somehow still gets the kill onto him. It's 3 down for Optic Gaming. Space Station have a 2 cap and approaching 40 points.
40-0 run here for Space Station Gaming, but Lucid finds the back of the head of Bound right there, and Eco, he's going to be introduced to the kill feed as well. Charlie's already been secured here for Optic Gaming. Can they attack Bravo?
Well, you see they're already getting A here, so the pressure is on A, but again, it's Dead Zone that has to stay alive in this situation. Yes, he'll cap A, but if he can't stay alive, it doesn't matter at all, and he does for a long period of time. It allows Trippy to get in and trade onto Bound, and a little bit of back and forth comes through, but SSG on the top end of that with that A cap.
And once again, a 3 down here for Optic Gaming, and once again, Space Station Gaming get the reset, but Lucid and Optic still on the attack right off a spawn, making their presence known, but Lucid's taking so much fire and he loses reinforcements in Dead Zone. That's another 3 down cleared reset, 4 down this time for Optic, and Space Station Gaming continue to score.
Yeah, very impressed that the Space Station are gatekeeping Optic from getting any more than 4 points in this situation. You see the triple cap kind of going through, but very difficult to get a triple cap here on live fire. You got to perfectly control C, A, and force the spawns onto that camo side of the map. It's a very tough thing to do, but we'll see if SSG can continue on this run.
70-4 run here for Space Station Gaming, and Eco, we switch gears over to him as he already knows that Charlie's going to be clear. Really has to worry about what's in front of him over toward the A side map. There's 3 members of Optic Gaming that surround Eco, and Stellar might have won his piv against Formal, but Optic still have the advantage. They still have the numbers, and Trippy is here.
Lucid looking real solid right now, stays alive on that pillar side, and it's going to be A, attempting to be taken there by Eco. Bound is going to have to turn around to help Eco out. Eco's down to no shields, but they'll still somehow get A. Trippy does not want to overextend. He understands how much pressure is on that A side, and Bound stays alive.
Bound's going to double back with Eco. They feel the pressure coming in from the jail, and Trippy gets no-scope. Bound puts him in the dirt. Double cap still in favor of Optic Gaming, but Stellar giving the information on where the location of Optic are, but Bound can't seem to connect with the sniper. Luckily, still has 4 more chances.
Like I said, it was going to take Optic a little bit of time to get into the groove here, and they seem to have finally gotten into it. 50 points to 70 here for Optic Gaming. Bound not hitting the shots he wants to hit with that sniper rifle is going to be not good for the side of SSG, but they do end up getting C anyway. Trippy going to try to go for that jump right now. Bound's got to be ready for this, and he is.
Springs over to get the melee, and everybody catches the elbow of Bound. A 2v2 situation, and SSG are already pushing, finding forward toward Bravo. Efficiency looking very good for SSG, as it's a 75-point end counting as they hold on to both Alpha and Bravo. And oh my gosh, Stellar, he puts down damage on the map. 3 down momentarily for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, the way Stellar was playing in that last series, I would not be surprised if he pulls off some crazy things in this one. It's Space Station Gaming locking in that 2 cap once again. B being contested by Optic Gaming, but Legend taking a route towards the bottom center, gonna catch out Lucid, and now he can push towards A.
An unorthodox route here for Legend, but it's gonna pay off in dividends here for SSG, as yet another round of slays go in favor of SSG, and Nico takes down the final member of Optic. Bravo changes hands once again. SSG hold on to the lead.
Nico's in trouble right now, down to no shields for a long period of time. He does still stay alive, which is great. He gets his shields back, and he'll be on that B side, but now it's going to be C that's going to get attacked here, and because Eco has no shields, I'm not sure if he can make his way towards that C side of the map. Looks like he goes down, and so does Bound, so this is a chance for Optic to get control.
It's a 4v2 situation here. And making a 4v1, the final player is going to be Stellar, and he can't take down the weakened Lucid. Beautifully played by Lucid and Optic Gaming, and maybe they could take the lead here with one more round of slays.
Lucid on the back of tower here is once again a very important position for him. He needs to stay alive. His job is just to get information for his team, play his life, and if he can't provide any value, that's when you see him drop down. Again, if you're not providing value to your team, if you don't have any information either, you gotta reroute and change position. That's why you see him on that nest side. Camo is coming up though. I'm sorry, Sniper is coming up though, so that's gonna be a big factor here at the top center of the map.
Spacestation Gaming were able to take away Alpha, but Optic quickly rotate over toward the Charlie side, and now they're like they're happy, no, not happy with 2. They want 3, but they end up going 3 down on their way to trying to take a triple cap. Bravo now is going to change hands while simultaneously Spacestation Gaming are working on Charlie. That's going to force Optic over toward the Alpha side, and guess what? Spacestation Gaming are ready for that. Here comes Bound. He didn't get that trade.
Yeah, Bound doesn't get the trade, but there are 2 down for the side of Optic Gaming. Only 1 now, as Lucid does end up spawning up. Optic still contesting on the B side as well. This fight on B is going to be very important here for either side. Dead zone falls to the snipe of Eco, and now Eco's in a great position to defend B from this position on mud.
Spacestation Gaming had the lead for so long, but Optic take it right back. They can't seem to take Bravo though. Looks like the reset should be coming in real quick. Bravo and Charlie still belong to SSG as they take the lead once again, but Trippy on the flank, able to grab a hold of that sniper. And now it's a 1v1 between he and Bound, and Stellar comes in quick with that back smack.
Great route by Trippy to disrupt Eco there and take the sniper away from him. But Stellar finds the sniper once again for the side of SSG, and we'll see what he's able to do with it.
Optic have the lead, but SSG have a Stellar. Quick scope lined up, body shot onto Formal, not enough to take him down, and off-screen dead zone going right after Eco. Not enough damage being created by Stellar and that sniper. At least Bound is here to try to do the entry frag damage. That leads to a 3 down for Optic Gaming. Luce is going to be the final player alive. He attacks Legend, but has to give up his life in order to do it. Where did dead zone come from? Off a spawn he goes, but the melee is going to miss and a whiff. 141 points here for Optic Gaming. Can SSG take advantage of the newly found numbers?
That is a massive play by Lucid right there. It resets B and keeps B in the control of Optic Gaming. You see, there is a C being taken here, but I don't know if they have the position to hold A as well. You see Legend trying to go for that A cap. Bound does fall though, and so does Trippy and Dead Zone on the other side of things. So Legend kind of free to take A here.
In the beginning of the game, it felt like both teams kind of feeling each other out here in this boxing match. But right now, haymakers are being thrown on both sides right now. And SSG starting to win a lot of these engagements here. And that's going to turn into a lead real quick if something doesn't change here for Optic. Bound down to 1 shot, going to retreat in order to play his life. But look at the space that SSG already have on the map. Optic needs to find the perimeter to break through, and it ain't going to be through the mid-map.
This is what it's about on Live Fire Stronghold. It's not necessarily like the other Strongholds maps. It's about getting the double cap and rotating off the spawns of the opposing team. You're not necessarily going to see a triple cap at all, if at all, on this map and game type combination. So of course, Spacestation Gaming, they're just fine with holding this double cap. New snipe coming up, a very important part of the game.
SSG once again take the lead here, but Bound taking a couple of grenades from the mid-map. Luckily, Stellar has his back. Double kill out of him. Plenty of ammo with the sniper to make a difference here. As like you said, SSG holding on to that double cap and finding the kills necessary to keep Optic on respawn.
A big kill by Stellar right there, cleaning up Lucid. If you let Lucid stay alive, that bottom center route it's just difficult to deal with, right? You take him out, now you no longer have to worry about that bottom center route, and there's another player on the respawn screen. I believe SSG are just fine with keeping C and B here. You see, they don't even go for that reset. They just push up on the map, and Stellar with this snipe has to hit some shots here.
191 points here for SSG, but notice how Optic already have Alpha and they're able to attack Bravo, just about done with it, and Stellar ends up going down, and the same for Bound. Bravo changes hands. Optic are attacking Charlie as well, moving in for the triple cap is Optic Gaming.
Yeah, Spacestation are in a bad spot right now. They got the brute spawns, which is good for that C side, but the fact that Optic got the timing and were there a lot quicker is going to be bad for SSG. Lucid, oh my gosh, that was disgusting. The late jump off the ledge. Beautiful job by Lucid and a big win for him.
And that's why this man won an MVP. You're seeing the difference maker that he can be on the map. Lucid putting his 20th kill, but the most impactful kills, just denying Space Station Gaming so much momentum, so much map control. Lucid controls it all, and man, the difference maker that he is clearly felt by SSG. They take the lead. Do Optic Gaming, do they hold on to it?
SSG have slowed down the pace here. You see, of course, like you said, Optic take the lead, but SSG looking for an opening on this push. They're gonna allow Optic Gaming a bit of time here. Lucy gets that kill on the kill feed on the Legend, so this will make things much more difficult for Space Station Gaming.
Efficient plays come out of Optic Gaming, one of the most efficient teams in the league. Damn it, I'll say the most efficient teams in the league. 227 points so far, and Formal chasing members of SSG away from the camo side angle. Trippy on the attack towards Bravo, but he's in a bit of a 1v1 here, and that insta-explode doesn't do the damage he's looking for. Don't worry, Formal will. 234 points, and SSG have to settle for C as they go 3 down. This is it right here, right now. SSG are on desperation mode. Just moving right into the trap that Optic are laying. They have to straight line over towards A, and Optic are there. The green wall was built, and it stands tall.
The entire game changed off of that play from Lucid. Once again, a low percentage fight is what we normally call that. It was an incredible late jump off the right side of tower, off that railing, and he stays alive and wins the fight. That is the biggest play of the game, in my opinion, and just the fact that Optic were so good on the rotation, so good at staggering the spawns of Space Station Gaming, that gave him that victory. You see Lucid here. Once again, this was the play that really changed things. They were behind at this point, but it was Lucid that made a big difference here.
Some of y'all need to learn this. Is a lesson right here. This right here tells you that stats don't mean a damn thing when it comes to objective. The eyeball test told you that Optic were so damn efficient, and although maybe not outslaying the opposition by 100 or so kills, definitely were able to do more with the kills that they were able to get. Definitely able to clutch up and win the pivotal battles that mattered most, that sway the slays in their favor. The game is not about kills. The game is simply about getting an advantage, and when Optic had that advantage, they simply took over.
I don't know about you, but KD is all that matters to me. All right, and you know, if you have a bad KD, you're absolute garbage. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, I get bad KDs all the time. I promise.
I mean, if you like stats, I will say I think I saw a legend with like 22 or 23 assists. That was a stat that I really enjoyed, because not only was he able to keep up in the kills, but just the assist, the impact that he had. He must have contributed to, like, I don't know, over 40 kills easily with the way that he was playing. Maybe even close to 50.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, but when it comes to the stats, I mean, all of them play a part in someone's performance or the way a player is playing. Obviously, they're all a piece of the puzzle, right? The damage done, damage taken, assist, kills, deaths, all of that, completes the puzzle. So it's important to look at that. But like Tony and I and all the casters really say pretty often, there's a lot of those plays that don't show up there. There's a lot of things that players do that don't show up there, and those things are the more important things of the game. You'll see so many times where if you're in matchmaking or wherever, a player is like, positive 10 or positive 15, and he starts yelling at you, why are you guys so horrible at the game? But that same player is making the worst plays possible, spawning your team in the wrong positions. There's just a lot of things that go into it. It's not just about kills and deaths. But regardless of that, I'm really impressed by Optic. They come in off of, we're talking an hour and a half break at least, and they come out swinging. Obviously, it was a very slow start, and it's just going to be, you know, these guys, they were sitting waiting for a while in that grand finals, but they came to action and they clicked. They started to click once again, and you love to see it. You love to see that out of Optic. Of course, we have Recharge Slayer coming up next.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. When you were going on your soliloquy of talking about that there's a player going positive, 15 in the lobby, they're making the wrong plays, blocking this ball. I swear, I thought you were talking about yourself. Like I'm like, yo, is Tim roasting himself right now? Like, what the hell, bro?
I do that. Yeah, if I'm slaying out like that, I will just run around like a dummy. I'm telling you, it's the real thing. It's real.
He want to say a word. He can't hear you. He can't talk. But let me tell you something. Get behind him, because he putting down the damage.
Listen, us free-for-all players are built different, okay? You just let us do our thing. But yeah, regardless of that, that's why I'm up on the desk alongside of you. We know it is a fun time to watch these best teams go at it. Of course, Optic starting off strong here. We saw SSG, guys. This is going to be their third open series in a row if they end up winning this. And it's going to be a tough one. Coming out of that lower bracket, it's 2 best-of-5s that need to be won, but Optic is hungry for a first-place finish. They haven't seen one in a little while, and I mean, Lucy was talking about it in his stream earlier. They have chipped away at all of the problems that they have. They have made sure to do a lot of VOD review. They have made sure to work on a lot of their weaknesses, and honestly, we're seeing that come to fruition here.
You know, it's crazy because you talk about the uphill battle that Spacestation Gaming have to accomplish in order to, with coming out of the lower bracket here in the grand finals, in order to become your champion. And normally I would agree with you. I feel like, yes, it is so tough, but literally what feels like just a few days ago, we saw them go 6-0 in the grand finals. Like, we literally saw them do it out of the lower bracket into the grand finals, and obviously against a pure roster, which is very different against Optic Gaming, but I still feel like SSG can come out with the win. Maybe I was not in the 6-0 because that's impossible now, but still, I never will count SSG out. I also won't count this man out either. Formal, camouflage, shock, right now, gold control for Optic Gaming.
My man's playing Wukong and still coming in here and dominating. It's just crazy to see. 1-0 so far. Got the shock rifle. We always talk about Stellar with that shock, but my goodness, can Formal make that shock work as well? We got that top heights position. Bound finds an opening. This is beautiful by Bound. Oh my word, picked apart on the side of Optic Gaming.
The combination of Legend and Bound just running through the gold stair side. The Bound combination will not be denied. It works out so well. Even the Ratty Dead Zone. Try to stay alive, try to make a sneaky play. Well, SSG, they're going to sniff him out as well with 11-6 lead out of nowhere here for Spacestation Gaming.
Yeah, it's just a 1-by-1 push by Optic. You see they're trying to capitalize on the damage that's done, and that's why you see a lot of staggered plays like that where teammates will come off a spawn and they'll just rush towards the damage that you did. But when you're doing that, you're going in 1-by-1, and if Spacestation Gaming are on those comms, if they're small talking, if they're playing the correct angles and isolating angles, you're not going to be able to make that work, and you can see it in the score. It's 16-9 SSG lead.
Camouflage did come up. Looks like Bound was trying to get a hold of it. Might have been a bit too soon, but Stellar gonna pick that up. It's up to Bound and Legend to keep him alive at the moment, and Stellar getting awfully aggressive here with the camouflage. You're starting to see SSG really start to fly. You're seeing it in their reticles. They're getting confident. They are looking way too comfortable on the map. Optic needs to draw that line in the sand. They need to slow down SSG.
Great job by Stellar. That shock rifle's coming up really shortly as well. You see, they took care of Stellar pretty quickly. 3 down for the side of Optic. It's a 10-kill lead now for SSG. My question is, are they going to be able to maintain this 10-kill lead?
Fairly dominant SSG have looked so far here in the early game. And it continues. Staggered spawners being created. The opportunities that are being created due to the damage that SSG are just putting down on the map. Everywhere you look, there's an SSG member just putting down damage onto a newly spawning player. There's been no reset here for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, we saw the beautiful observing work by 90 right there, right? He showcased that even if Formal got that win, it was still another player from SSG that was on the flank. There's just always players from SSG on multiple angles of this Optic Gaming roster. They cannot move, and they're constantly being staggered. Look at Formal once again, all alone inside the batteries. Who's there to help? Nobody. But Legend, he gets a freaking shroud screen based off of what his team shoots at him, and he's able to stay alive for a little bit of time, but still this lead is mounting.
31-18 lead in favor of Spacestation Gaming. We did just see Trippy decent double kill out of him to alleviate some of that pressure, that strain that was being created. And God, the Jiggle Peak battle. This is 2024 Halo, right? That was it at its finest right there. That's what 1v1 fight's gonna look like.
All I can think of is that song, Wiggle, Wiggle, Wiggle. That's all I can think of when I see that.
Double
35 to 21. Make that 36. SSG running away with this one. He goes 12-3. The guy, the guy is what, 30, and he's still performing like he's in his 20s.
He's only 30?
Yeah,
Dude, I could have swore he was like 72. and
don't play
good
like it.
G's, let me tell you, man, just good G's. He don't look a day over 12. It's actually crazy, man. Eco is actually aging backwards right now. 41 kills here for Spacestation Gaming, only 25 for Optic. This is a dominant performance that we are seeing in a bounce back game here for SSG. They lost a close game number 1. Well, at this point, steak is on the menu. Hope you're hungry.
I'll be honest, if the Ogres liked the new Halos as much as they liked Halo 1 and Halo 2, I think they'd still be competing to this day, okay? I think when it comes to the age thing, man, there's some Street Fighter pros that are like 45, still competing, still winning. I just think you just have to have that passion, have that determination, make sure, you're staying fit. I think you can do it.
I mean, Ogre 2 still got a little bit. I've seen him play a little mouse and keyboard action, dude. I mean, obviously a high Onyx player. He's still got a bit, but I don't know, man.
If Tools was in here, it'd be like, yeah, man, back in his day, plumbers played the game. Yeah, I don't even. Goodness me, Tools. But
that was a great Tools impression, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what he sounds like in my ears. You know that. By the way, it's SSG who are victorious by a lot, 50 to 34. I didn't expect to see a blowout that large, Tony. Spacestation Gaming dominant and looking for that three-peat in the Open Series.
Somebody in the chat asked me for a prediction in this game number 2 before the series even started, and I threw out a random. I said 50 to 42 in favor of Spacestation Gaming. I thought it would be a much closer one, but SSG speed running through that Slayer, and we'll take a look at the stats. 4,000 damage out of bound right there. Only 6 minutes needed to put in that 4K damage. Crazy.
You know what's impressive to me about bound stats though? It's the damage taken. 4,000 damage done, only 3,500 damage taken. He's always that entry player. Most of the time he's that flank player as well, but he'll always kind of be that first player in. And the fact that he's doing all that damage and staying alive and, not taking as much is huge for bound. I think once he hits that stride, he's unstoppable, in my opinion. So we see that here, but of course the big person for me was Eco. 16 kills in this game, make that 17 and 6 by the end of that one. That is a beautiful stat line for Eco.
It was Optic Gaming that were quick off the jump early in the series, but again, just an answer back coming out of SSG and Formal. Actually, Formal and both Optic and SSG members agreeing that, maybe not the cleanest server for whatever reason. He's being a little bit shaky right now. Hopefully, we're gonna reset the lobby, make a new one, and we'll see if that ends up working out better for Optic going into this Empyrean capture the flag. I love me some Empyrean CTF, and not because you old heads are, oh my god, back in my day I played on the pit and I had a shut up. Oh my god,
Tony, you're like 2 years younger than me, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. But I just love the fact that there's 2 snipers on the map. You get to see the best in the world go at it. Like, I'm assuming on one side Stellar's gonna grab that sniper for SSG. Formal probably gonna grab it for Optic, and watching the way they navigate the map, you know, both to find the angle on each other, but also to to avoid each other, avoid the opposition, and how they navigate the map is just, it's always fun to watch to me. So Empyrean capture the flag, I'm about it.
Well, as Tony the Dinosaur is talking about Empyrean, I want you guys to not be a dinosaur and go over to the YouTube and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, we're like 100 subscribers away on YouTube from hitting 10K, okay? If you love LVT and you're not subbed on the YouTube, you and I are gonna have a problem. You understand me? Don't make me come at you with my raps. But here we go. It's game number 3 here. SSG, dominant. Tie up the series at 1. Can Optic bring this back?
Trust me, guys, you don't want to be named in his next diss track, so make sure you sub to the YouTube, screenshot and send proof, because Active is coming at you. And Optic may be coming back at SSG, because we saw Optic take game number 1. We saw SSG with the answer back in that game 2. And now what I like to call the swing game number 3. Not only important to take the lead in the series, but to shift momentum, which, you know, all of us casters always talking about it, but it is a real thing. Momentum is so important, and I think you give a team an inch, they ultimately take a mile. Right now, it's SSG and Optic fighting early here for that Rockets and Eco going right in.
I was watching Luce's stream a little bit earlier, and he was talking about like what maps he would take out of the game. Solitude was one of them, and Empyrean was the other. But he said on Empyrean, his squad, Optic Gaming, a very solid Empyrean team. He just said he's sick of playing Pit all these years, and I completely understand, but they are a good Empyrean team. So Spacestation, Optic, this is gonna be an even match. Oh my word, that was almost disgusting by Stellar. It was almost a 2-for-1. Drippy's down to no shields. He'll take him out as well. 3 down for Optic.
And the timing on that was actually crazy. I really thought he hit a Quigley. Maybe he hit a Quigley body shot. I don't even know, but impressive snipes coming out of Stellar as he rotated over toward the long haul side. SSG attacking the high side of the map, forcing Optic over toward the courtyard spawners, and now just one more Slayer or 2, and we could see a run here for Spacestation Gaming.
That's up to Stellar, and if he can hit these shots, though. I like the rerouting here, just to make sure no one's coming through towards the bottom of training. Make sure to take care of the spawners on the snipe side as well. Stellar in a great position if he can get this kill on a Trippy, and he does. Tony, Stellar is absolutely frying with this snipe.
Hasn't died just yet. And Lucid found out the hard way. You don't want to mess with this young man when he's moving and grooving like this. 2 bullets in the chamber and doesn't need to waste one on dead zone. Lucid finally able to take down Stellar there. Eventually 3 down goes Spacestation Gaming, and Legend gonna have to play this on Optic side of the map by himself.
Yeah, there's certain situations that you see and you're like, yeah, there's no way Stellar's getting out of that one, and he's gonna get his first death because of that. But Legend still is a player down below, wants to get the kill on the Trippy, but it's gonna be Legend actually that ends up falling, but Bound ends up getting a clean triple kill. The overkill's right in front of him. Will Lucid give him the chance? Oh, that is tippable by, is that what the kids say, Tony? Tippable by Lucid.
Lucid does end up trading out his life there, takes down Bound, who was on an absolute roll. So sometimes you gotta heat check that man. With Overshield and Rockets coming up, big kills across the board for Optic, but will it be enough for them to grab the resources that are oh so important on the map? Bound is there. Lucid jumps, oh my gosh, he just jumped over that rocket.
He's got a rocket to work with too. Legend, oh no. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way he goes for this, right? Yeah, he's just gonna play defensive on the green wall. Not very easy to nade this green wall from the position that Legend's at, but Legend gonna take a rocket to the toe. He'll go down. It'll be 3 down for Optic though. Spacestation answer back, and a clean kill by Formal. That's 3 down for SSG. Almost gets the kill onto Eco as well. My goodness. Tony, I'm taking over your play-by-play. I'm sorry. There's some crazy plays going on right now.
Yeah, Formal doing a great job of using that environment. That head glitch was crazy. He must have learned that from Call of Duty. Lucid gets himself a full sniper to work with. A couple of players just to navigate. You're talking all the way across the map. Damage being dealt, and Legend, who's right in your S1, just running figure eights, leads to a 4 down here for Optic Gaming. SSG already on the move with that flag, and a off-spawning Trippy ends up paying for it. How dare you spawn on the map?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, that spawn right there, though, because he would have been the first player towards maybe that under bridge area and maybe could have done some damage. I don't think there's any way they stop this regardless. Legend, one of the fastest flag runners in the game. We say it often, but that's because it's true, and no way. No way. Oh, my word. Stellar going for another pull here. There is 3 down, but Trippy playing some good defense.
1-0 lead in favor of Space Station Gaming. Trippy's defense right now holding out SSG as he still has 2 bullets to work with the sniper. If he doesn't reload it soon, I'm gonna freak out by OCD. There we go. Thank goodness. Trippy with the reload. Now we can start cooking because Bound, he has the opposing sniper for SSG. And oh, I didn't even know. I didn't even know Trippy can hit shots like that with the sniper. Okay, love to see that.
You see Trippy gets 2 players down and no shields, but unfortunately none of them are gonna fall. Bound ends up getting that sniper for himself, so it's all about making sure that Bound can push up on the map, and the person that's going to allow that is a Legend. A great kill by him. 3 down for Optic.
Overshield the Rock is coming up in less than 30 seconds here, and look at the attack from SSG. No man left behind with that double push out of Eco and Bound. Bound gonna get his shields back and avoid every nade in the book being thrown at him. The cleanup onto dead zone, but can't stay alive right as Overshield's about to come up.
It's going to be a big OS for both sides. Formal's going to take the rocket control. He had 2 down on his team, so it's going to be really antsy here. He gets 1 down and no shields. He'll be able to clean up 1, but both those rockets being wasted, you'd want to utilize those rockets if you could for a flag pull here. But honestly, Spacestation Gaming are 3 down. There's maybe a chance Optic can push up on the map.
Great job for Stellar staying alive, not only taking down the one-shot player, but also even getting a melee off before being taken out. Excellent damage coming out of Stellar, currently 13 and 6. Meanwhile, Trippy is pushed up over toward the green side of the map. He has to be careful because Eco is on the attack.
This fight is very important here for both squads. You can see it's 4 up for both sides. Formal's going to be the first one to fall for Optic, but Trippy just trying to activate on some damage that's done. It's just the thing is, Optic are very aggressive on the side of SSG, but SSG continue to trade, and now Bound is through and he's going for a pull.
Sniper's about to come up, and Bound not able to take down Formal, and Optic are sending bodies from the courtyard spawner to be able to clear out that flag side. And Formal's the first one to grab a hold of the snipe, and I thought he was baiting out that snipe on the other side of things, but Bound gets away. Can't say the same for Eco.
That's a beautiful flick up by Formal. Once again, the little micro and his flick to get that headshot. Because of that, it'll be 2 down for SSG. Eco does spawn back up, and Formal's gonna be aggressive. This is the play right here, Tony.
Denzo wins a pivotal battle. Formal's hitting snipe after snipe. That means SSG might just be in trouble. Down 0-1 are Optic, but the way they are playing and slaying, they're nobody to be played with. Formal rotates that snipe right toward the green side. A perfect angle on the player that's trying to push through cuts. But Legend sneaks through, and Formal stays alive and continues to hit shots.
That's a great trade, though, by the side of SSG on the Formal. Legend pushing through the long haul, the runway side of the map right there was huge for the side of Space Station Gaming. It gets on through, and because of that, Optic are not able to get that flag any further than they want to.
Great attack coming in from Optic Gaming, playing the sword side perimeter. No snipe in hands, but has the commando, does Trippy at the moment here. Oh no. He's quickly the only player alive for Optic Gaming. SSG immediately put the 3 down. Luckily, Trippy is able to take down Legend right as Overshield is coming up, but the bodies for SSG are overwhelming the rocket side. It's up to Trippy to make a play with his Overshield.
Yeah, there's 4 minutes left in the game. This is the play that needs to decide the game for Optic, if the chance for them to get that cap, but Trippy goes down instantaneously, and so do the rest of Optic Gaming. That's all 4 down. They're spawning on the snipe side, but Stellar rains out a rocket.
High risk, high reward rocket going down. I think he did the damage, didn't exactly get the kill he's looking for, but it doesn't stop Eco and SSG from moving this flag through the long haul side. Excellent damage coming out of Stellar, and although he doesn't get the kill, SSG get the cap.
Yeah, it's still a lot of pressure here that they're putting on. It's Optic Gaming. Dead Zone's already gone down, and so does Trippy, so SSG don't have to worry about the counter cap. They're sitting nice and comfy here.
Formal down to 1 shot. Wants to get his shields back, but Stellar wants to get the kill before that happens, and both players end up splitting the difference, trading out their lives there. as Legend, excellent damage out of him, forcing Trippy all the way through the long haul side. Looks like he will double back for him. Optic aggressive on the offense right now. SSG's defense needs to drive him out.
Yeah, players are split on both sides of the map. Optic are in the driver's seat right now, though, because they do have 3 down for SSG. It's bound the last player alive, but he's on the Optic side of the base.
2-0 lead, still in favor of Space Station Gaming. 3 minutes left in regulation, and Lucid running that flag through the long haul side. Bound steals the sniper of Optic, but can't do much with it. Gets shut down immediately. Formal takes it right back, and now Formal on the tower side with the snipe. Finds the glutes of Legend. It looks like the pressure alleviated once again. Optic not only capping a flag, but also stopping the counter cap opportunity.
Yeah, it was Formal with that big shot that stopped that opportunity, and it's the big shots like that that you need to hit. Lucid, unfortunately, hits a nade. I don't know how the heck he just spawned down there, but he did, and he ends up going down because of it. You can see the flagpole still comes out. It's only 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, but SSG are still holding forward on the base of Optic.
Stellar with the snipe. That was a momentary 3 down for Optic Gaming, and Stellar finds the final player and the spawning players from Optic. It is a courtyard side run, but a bit of a fumblerooski here from Eco. Will that allow Optic to be able to push up and stop this flag from making it over toward the cuts? Formal's the only player alive, and he ends up going down here, and that's it. SSG taking game number 3.
Wow, huge game by SSG, and now they lead in the series 2-1. My goodness gracious, it was again such big plays by the side of Formal, but SSG kept pressure on that courtyard side the entire time. They forced the spawns where they wanted them, kept in the courtyard. Lucid spawned courtyard, even though there was so much pressure on that side of the map, but I mean, regardless, him going down in that situation and then the pressure continuing on from SSG won them that game.
2-1 series lead here for Space Station Gaming here in your grand finals. The team that made it out of the lower bracket is 1 game away from resetting the bracket, and not but dude, 6,600 damage out of Legend, bro.
Wow.
I'm telling you, one of the best in the freaking game, and putting on an MVP type of year. Here in his first year in North America, MVP year, and it is his first year competing in NA. That is crazy.
That last play right there where he had a player on snipe 1, instead of going for that player on snipe 1, he goes for the player that's no shields. Again, maximizing damage before you go down. You get that kill on the player on the pit, I believe it was Trippy, you can turn around and get a melee as well. That's the mindset that Legend has, and that's why his damage is so high every single game. It's about maximizing your life, getting as much damage as possible in that life, and then if you can, stay alive as well. Legend, phenomenal player, always has been. It's good to have him in NA.
Yeah. Sorry, you man. We just poach some of your players. All right? That's what we do. All right. Hey, we poach tapping buttons. We poach barcode. And who's next? All right.
Listen, listen. The USA is only good in COD and Halo. Every other esports title, everywhere else has the crown. So we'll take those players. We need to keep our crown.
SSG again up 2-1 here in the series. And is there something that you're seeing out of this SSG roster, maybe not seeing out of Optic Gaming, that led to this point where they're 1 game away from resetting the bracket?
Something I'm noticing, and I hate to point out players because I absolutely have respect for all these players on both rosters, but Dead Zone having a little bit of a flat performance in that game, and I think you know, if he can pick up his slays like we know he can, he's one of the best players in the game. There's a reason why Optic picked him up, but he's got to pick up those slays, at least pick up the damage, try to be involved in more fights, and play those angles a bit better.
Gonna be keeping all eyes on Dead Zone. So far, the first kill in the game here for Optic Gaming, but about 30% done with this hill are Space Station Gaming, and Dead Zone with the nades going down. Can't quite win that gunfight against Bound.
SSG getting a lot of free time here. Formal's going to go down as well, and that's kind of a late death for Formal. Dead Zone's going to come up, but Optic, because of Formal going down there, are going to be down in numbers still. They're going to be forced to get a trade, and they do on the Bound, but Dead Zone, he has the shock. Let's see what he can do with it.
Close to a quick capture here by Space Station Gaming. Optic haven't even set foot in this bottom mid-hill. Finally, though, numbers start to favor them, but Legend just flies right in the confidence and the audacity on that man right through the middle to steal away the first hill. Optic didn't even have time to react to that.
Yeah, Dead Zone unfortunately has that shock rifle, but hasn't been able to find any angles. Finally, he does, and that's what you need as a player like Dead Zone, right? You find that first kill, you get that little spike of dopamine, and you can continue on. And we'll see if Dead Zone can continue on with this shock. He's got one bullet left, makes it count as well. Beautiful shots, 4 and 2 for Dead Zone.
Now it's up to Dead Zone and Trippy to try to infiltrate the yard side. Finding the one-shot Stellar is going to be huge. 3 down goes Space Station Gaming. Optic pushing forward.
Dead Zone's in an important spot once again. He's got his teammate in Trippy here, but his job is just to keep Trippy alive. There's gonna be a lot of pressure from Blue and on the gold ledge. If Trippy can live and Dead Zone's here as well, this is what they're gonna be able to do. The team shot is beautiful. The Space Station go 2 down.
Off-screen bound was able to take down Trippy and Formal, luckily getting his shields back, staying alive, but some excellent nades out of bound in order to deny access over to where the U-turn side. He doesn't stop. He just took down 3 members seemingly by himself. Trippy's now going to be the final player from Optic, and only so much he can do to try to get SSG out of this hill. In fact, he's being chased.
Yeah, I love that. I love Stellar's ability to stay alive right there. Waits for Bound to come off a spawn on the loop side. Bound gets a double and a killing spree, and stays alive for that other kill as well. Stellar has the camo here, but it's gonna go away in like 2 seconds. So not gonna really have much more impact to give with this camo. But regardless, he's given the information on the push, and now it's up to SSG to stop that push from happening.
Oh, knowledge is power there, and that information allows SSG to be perfectly prepared for it, and eventually they simply get Optic out of the hill. They get him out of the yard, and now Optic is spawning all the way on the opposite side of the map and are forced to punt this second hill, which might just be 2 in a row for SSG, who just stepped foot out of the hill to bait Optic forward.
Enemy team scores.
There it is. Space Station Gaming will get a cap. That is a 2-0 lead now, and they are already 2-1 in this series as well, so a chance for them to continue on this momentum. Trippy can change all that though with this shot.
We're going to see if SSG's strategy of stepping out of that hill to push, make Optic push forward and then capturing the hill is going to work out for them. And so far, it looks like it does, because Optic do end up going 3 down. And although Trippy does have this shot, it looks like SSG attacking the hill. He needs to hit shots just like that as he takes down Bound. And Legend gonna hit the black screen as well. Well played here for Optic as they take back control of the cafe side.
I love what SSG's doing right here. You see, they're not stepping in the hill until they feel comfortable with the slays that they're getting. They're going to wait till they're all 4 up, and then they can go for that hill time once they get a couple of slays. You see the first slay goes into Formal right there. Trippy still has his shock rifle with 2 shots left in it. We'll see what he's able to do.
1-shot eco, but he still has that camouflage. Trippy trying to find exactly where SSG are going to be attacking from, and there's the camo getting value. Optic Formal, the last player alive, and he's dealt with as well. So that was a momentary 4 down for Optic. SSG right on that hill, right on their setup, and waiting for the spawners. Optic Gaming.
Eco's really planting that shock rifle right in the position away from Dead Zone. Dead Zone's going to go down once again, and Eco will stay alive as well. There's no more shock rifle to use, so not only do they use the shock rifle for that first kill, but they also have the timing as well for the next couple of kills, especially when those spawns are staggered. And you see they're doing just that. It's 3 down for Optic Gaming.
Optic Gaming are simply getting outplayed right now. There is nothing that is seemingly going in their favor. The eyeball test will tell you that right now SSG run solitude. Optic down 0-3 right now. We're in the grand finals through the winners bracket with that advantage, but if things continue to go this way, they will lose that advantage. This bracket will be reset.
The duo of Legend and Bound really impressing me here. 15-7 out of Bound, 12-4 out of Legend, just doing massive damage on the map, and we'll see if Optic can bring this back. It's only 3 caps and still a ton of time to work with, like you mentioned, so we'll see what Optic can do with 3 down for SSG.
Setup locked in for Optic. Not much time on their side. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of neutral time. As long as Optic stay in the hill, they don't have to worry about that time winding down. The hard part is staying in the hill because Stellar has just leaked through the defenses of the green wall.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The thrust changes everything, Tony, and it's crazy to see Optic Gaming go 4 down. They were so close to getting that first hill.
Close but no cigar here. And mind you, on top of that, Bound was able to grab a hold of the camouflage as well. So now everybody funneling from the flower side towards the yard. This doorway just ain't big enough for 4 of them, as Optic have no chance of making it through yard with the way that SSG are blocking every line of sight. And mind you, SSG have purposefully not stepped foot in this hill. At this point, they have chosen to play the shot clock, and with less than 2 minutes on the clock, I don't know if Optic are going to be able to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, this is BM by the side of SSG, just slaying them out for another minute and 40 seconds when you know you can absolutely finish this game and get that last cap. But I mean, it's gonna check the team at this point, and you want to do that exact thing, especially with the reset on the way. If you can check Optic right now with that reset, I mean, you're looking real solid to get your 3rd open series win in a row.
1 minute and 30 seconds to take 2 hills. Still not comfortable territory for Optic after taking their first, but big double kill coming out of Trippy. Dead Zone flies through the mid map to try to stay alive. He has a thrust to work with, and he's gonna use that to get behind the truck side. Beautiful life here out of Dead Zone, but no, Bound was chasing him down, bro. Oh my gosh.
Bound is hungry for kills right now. You see it in his KD. I mean, him and Legend have been playing phenomenal, and it's crazy to see another kill onto Trippy as well with 1 minute left. This looks nearly impossible. Of course, that timer does stop if they step foot in the hill, but we're talking about a lift side hill, which actually could be good for Optic Gaming. It's one of those hills that's difficult to break, but they've got to get in that hill first. Trippy is in there, but it's a bit of a weak setup. 2 down for SSG. They need more slays.
One to being attacked over towards the dip side. Lucid having to give up his positioning to chase him down, and that's really tough to do. Bound trades out his life there, at least to a 3 down for Optic, and time will wind down once again. Stellar just ninjas Dead Zone.
My goodness, things are just going worse and worse for the side of Optic Gaming. Really just not able to find an answer here versus Spacestation Gaming. 20 seconds left, and I'm a betting man, Tony. This is definitely a reset. Everyone's standing still. There it is. A little bit tilty. Like I said, I mean, I know it's impossible to win, but maybe giving the overkill to Stellar. Oh, what a way to reset the series, reset the grand finals. Ladies and gentlemen, Spacestation Gaming have a chance to win again.
That was not just a series win. That was not just a bracket reset. That was a statement being made by Spacestation Gaming. A dominant performance out of them leads to a bracket reset, and like you said, an opportunity to win this tournament. They ran through the lower bracket literally just last week in a similar fashion, and now they look to do the same. 3 in a row after losing that game number 1, and SSG looking dominant in those final 2 games. Final 3 games, shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it was 6 in a row. We'll see. We'll see if Spacestation Gaming can do it again. I think Optic have a definite chance here to bring this back. It's just they're gonna need a little bit of a reset right now. Just like reset the mental, come back, strong. Bound is having a phenomenal game. We know, Tony, you talk about it all the time. You're the one who nicknamed them LeBound, and those two, if they're playing as well as they are right now, it's going to be very tough for Optic to stop them.
6,295 damage being put down by Bound. How do you move on the map when you have a player putting down that much damage? How do you navigate any gunfight in a 1v1 when you start off every single one of them weak? That is the difference maker that Bound is on the map. He does not care about his life. His job is to make things as uncomfortable as possible for you on the opposition with the constant pressure that he's able to put down. He very rarely goes down without putting damage on a minimum of 2 or 3 different players. That's what he brings to the table.
Well, as you can see, we have our new series layout here for the Grand Finals reset. If you're just joining us, which you might be, Spacestation Gaming just reset the bracket. Coming from that elimination side, they were sent down there by Sentinels. Because of that, they have to win 2 times And it's Space Station's chance to get that reset going and make something happen here. But Optic, if they can reset, maybe they have a bit of a chance. It's going to take a big mental reset here, though.
Hey, this is going to be tough. It's with the way that Space Station Gaming is playing right now, I don't think there's anyone in the world that can contest them. They have been unbelievable thus far, and well, it looks like Stellar's having one of those MVP performances once again. And as we went through these replays, I mean, Tony, just sound off on what you're thinking about the Space Station roster and whether they can complete the 3 back-to-backs, or if Optic Gaming maybe has their chance in the second best of 5.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody who was watching that first Grand Finals Best of 5 series that's going to sit here and say that SSG cannot win this tournament. I mean, that obviously game number 1 goes towards Optic Gaming, but that was a very tight game number 1 in which SSG had the lead plenty of times, including up into that 200-point mark. Since then, it's literally been all SSG. It's crazy how dominant they've been. So I mean, there's no way that anybody who was watching that first best of 5 series doesn't believe that SSG can win another tournament.
As we go into the second best of 5, Tim, I mean, you're looking at this setup. We start and finish with Aquarius. You think Optic Gaming has it in them, or Space Station going with the 3 back-to-backs?
Well, I see a little bit of time in between these 2 series, and I mean, yes, of course, Optic knows they don't have a chance to win at the very end there, which means they're going to stand still, put their controllers down. But I don't know what the comms sound like. I don't know if there's any tilt going on, but I think that's going to be a big factor. If there was, there needs to be a bit of a reset here going into this next one. But at the same time, like Tony said, SSG look phenomenal right now. And I'm going to be honest with you, they're hungry for that three-peat. They won the land. They won 3 in a row for the Open Series. I mean, these guys are dominant right now, and it's great to see online.
Well, folks, if you are watching on the YouTube, give us a little subscription over there. Right now, I think it sits at like 60% of people that watch us on YouTube aren't subscribed to the channel. We're getting real close to that 10,000 subscriber mark. Would love to hit it today. I think we've already had over 100 subs added to the channel today. We've got like 2,000 people watching on the YouTube right now. So if you're watching, come shout out. Give us a follow over there. If you want to play in some of these competitions here today, we got a couple coming up. Sign up for the Forge Hub tournament coming up September 1st. $5,000 on the line, 4v4 settings. Get yourself set up and competing over there. Or if you're a free-for-all phenom, we got FFA Fridays with LVT Halo Native Gaming, $1,000 between all regions. You can play whether you're from Australia, Europe, North America, or Mexico. There's money up on the line and pro points that can help your seeding in these FFA tournaments at LAN. Get yourself involved, get yourself signed up, and ready to compete. The LVT Halo broadcast is not going to end today. All right, we go in, we watch everything today, we'll have the rerun, and then we're going to go right into tomorrow, where the free-for-all will start 6 p.m. local time for whatever region you are in. Then after those tournaments, we'll be having the HCS Salt Lake City qualifier, where teams that have not yet earned their spot will have the chance to play for those coveted remaining spots in each region. We'll be covering North America as we see who will be joining the top 6 teams that qualified at HCS Atlanta. There's a lot of teams on the outside looking in, and we'll be able to bring you guys all that action here on Twitch and on YouTube.
That's a crazy stat that you put out there, that 40% of the people that are watching on YouTube aren't subbed to the channel.
No, 60% aren't. 40% are.
That is even crazier. Let me tell you something. Y'all are losers. Okay, if you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, you're a damn loser. How do you come in week after week and you search up LVT Halo on the search bar, HGS Open Series on the search bar, and you click on it week after week after week? Do yourself a favor. Sub to the channel, put the notifications on. Why are you making this harder for yourself? Like, you're legitimately making it harder for yourself. Don't worry, I'm gonna give you a pass right now. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to redeem yourself. Press the sub button now, and we won't talk about it.
He's on a flashback, bro. I will say we're less than 50 subscribers away from getting to 10,000 subscribers. It's been a big goal for us to focus on the YouTube this year, and it's been growing like crazy. We appreciate everyone that watches over on the YouTube, and it's kind of crazy today. Our YouTube viewership, it's almost rivaling our Twitch viewership today. So shout out to the folks watching over on the YouTube, but go get yourself signed up. We post not only the live streams, but also matches that you'll see throughout the day. The best of the best matches go over there on the YouTube.
Yo, YouTube chat, put your rank in the chat right now on the YouTube chat. I want to see everyone's rank in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, we're gonna compare the two. It's like who wins.
Yeah.
YouTube
Twitch chat, put your rank in, and then YouTube put your rank in.
Wait, we're comparing.
Dude, who are the better viewers? I mean, it has to. Who are the?
Make them fight,
it has
dude.
to be Twitch, right? Like, there's no way Twitch is getting beat out on YouTube on the skill, right? Twitch.
I mean, we're gonna have a big team battle tournament between our Twitch viewers and
Twitch.
Damn. Ain't nothing wrong with being gold, though. You know what I'm saying? I wear gold all the time.
LVT gold, baby. Get some of those jerseys as well. Founders edition in chat. You can get yourself a subscription. But thank you everyone for watching. I mean, this has been a great tournament. This is obviously our last best of 5. I'll be filling in for Active here. Tim, I mean, before you go, you got any last words you want to say to the stream?
Yes, sub to the YouTube channel, or you're gonna end up in my next mixtape, and I'm gonna be roasting you later.
MC double Active E. Oh wait, I said that wrong. He's out. Second grand finals on its way. The bracket has been reset. Spacestation Gaming trying to go back to back for the 3rd time, but standing in their way is the Green Wall and the members of Optic Halo. Lucid, Formal, Dead Zone, and Trippy look to cause the upset and get themselves some much needed momentum going into Salt Lake City.
Well, Optic Gaming have another chance in order to win this tournament. I'll be honest with you, that first best of 5 series definitely feels like they have more in the tank, and apparently so do Spacestation Gaming. They're in for the long run. That's a quick 4 down and a quick flag being ran by SSG.
And doubly effective here for Bound as he was able to get those kills, but also wait on that overshield. Tanks the nade because of it, and well, we're 30 seconds into the game. It's 1-0 Spacestation Gaming.
Bounds over toward the P side. Damage across the map onto Lucid, but still 2 down are Optic Gaming, and Bounds gonna fly in there. Lucid, so crafty, able to stay alive. Excellent shots out of him. Lucid taking things into his own hands.
Bound was able to be awfully aggressive at the beginning of this game. He gets 4 in a row before he goes down, but Optic Gaming are just stuck in their base. They need to find space, but SSG are suffocating in their pressure. A blanket of yellow that has just traversed this entire map. It doesn't feel like there's anything Optic can do. They have to start winning the slays.
1-0 lead here for SSG, and it could turn to Moore's Legend, moving that flag from util to util, and Lucid is on the overextension. Formal's there. It is a 3 down for SSG, so there should be a return, you would think, theoretically, for Optic, but it's kept alive. SSG, they're scrappy with it.
I just want to give a shout out to the YouTubers. 10,000 subs on the LVT Halo YouTube. Special day for us today, and well, we'll have to see who will have their special day tonight. We're in the second grand finals. The bracket has already been reset as Spacestation won the first series 3-1. Can Optic bounce their way back? Overshield coming up in just a few seconds, and the slays are going either way, but no one has the high ground for that overshield right away.
Decent job of Trippy putting down damage and trying to stay alive right there, but SSG are relentless with their attacks. Seiko with the green gun, draining most of the overshield from Lucid. He still has shields to work with, but doesn't have the double shields anymore. And it's a fair 1v1, and one in which Stellar shuts him down.
The Stellar's in between 2 players, trying his best to get his shields back as Legend comes through for the help. Able to get so much damage in from the mid-map. Stellar was able to get his shields back, but he's not quite done yet. Working through. Optic Gaming's push is over before it could even begin. It didn't feel as if Spacestation felt any of that pressure of Optic Gaming at their front lines.
Stellar making sure that fridge side perimeter is being controlled and nobody pushing up from there. Well, Optic aren't. They're pushing right through the util side, sending 3 players from their flag through the util and trying to bulldoze over over SSG, who have just gone 3 down. The 4th player gets spotted.
Trippy are able to work up onto this P side. Optic Gaming trying to hold a strong line at the midpoint of the map, but so far it's been tough for them to get forward. Spacestation Game, you can see how coordinated they are. They do not let players slip by. Oftentimes just half damage being done, and you can see that in the assist column. Legend rocking with 7 for his team thus far.
Stellar with a straight line, looking to create space all the way toward the Uto side, and now has his teammates with them. So a single push now quickly turns to a double push out of SSG. Stellar with a green gun. Player being oh so elusive, but luckily Bound and SSG have now cornered Optic in their base. They are stuck right now, and it feels like only a matter of time before SSG collapse.
It's been a patient game from Stellar. He didn't try to push up until he had that noob combo up and ready. He found 3 players on top of each other. Unfortunately, that noob combo didn't supply the splash damage that would have been necessary for him to get out. Instead, it's an opportunity for Optic Gaming. Not only were they able to get the clean wipe, but they also have the overshield on their side now. We need to see this turn into some sort of offensive pressure that we just haven't seen from the green wall.
Formal slips out of that push from SSG, grabs an overshield and gets value out of it immediately, and continues to rain down the pain onto every member of Space Station Gaming. Formal starting to heat up.
Formal showing what he is able to do, what he's backed up against the wall in enemy lines. 2 players left and right, and he's not missing shots. Bound making it hard, but Formal just is that damn good. Double for him, and it might just turn into more. Green wall equalizes 1-1 apiece. What a bounce back, and it's all started by this man on screen.
And the crazy part is he's still alive. He's still putting down that damage, but Legend confident enough to play that 1v1, play that pivotal fight, and simply wins it. And now Trippy overwhelmed here. SSG clear out their base for now, tied up at 1 apiece.
Trying their best to clear Space Station. They've had so much momentum this game, but for the first time, it feels as if they're playing on their back foot. Bound was able to find Trippy. He had no idea that there was a player just standing in the middle. Bound patient with that last shot. Great awareness from him, knowing that he had to make sure that one counted.
Lucid with the cleanups and oh my gosh, the movement, the shot, man. This is Halo Infinite played in 2024.
Lucid, you can't fool him. He knows how to put that reticle on the head. Those late jumps that can be effective in your matchmaking lobbies, so you better think twice before Lucid hits you in the dome. Unfortunately for him, he just runs out of ammo. His reign of terror is done. Overshield's up. Formal could be the player that gets it back home. It's the one-on-one. Formal versus Ego. Overshield for Formal, but down on the ground as Bound was able to find the equalizing kill.
Had to juggle that thrust and overshield, but at least he brings the overshield over towards his teammates, and Dead Zone cleans it up real quick, but doesn't really do much with it. Excellent job by SSG of simply melting it with their bandits, but SSG ended up going 3 down. Legend, the final player here.
Watch these 2 players in green fly into this base. They're trying to ensure that they get the slays first, but Legend has been patient. Something that you don't see from him is standing back, not pushing forward on the map, understanding that it was important for his team to get that first pick, and they stabilize in their base. Optic Gaming's push is over.
Dead Zone with the insta-splode stick. That was beautiful over towards the P street. Let me tell you, watching right there, give a little wink and a nod. He's happy with that one.
Dead Zone is trying to do his best to keep that P tower control, but it just keeps switching hands. Bound able to get deep in. With Optic Gaming being 3 down, Bound's going to be the one that gives information to the team. Not seeing any of those initial spawns, but here we see the pings, and they are coming out immediately, getting that information. Bound now waiting for his teammates to push up. It's him and Stellar that can cause the play.
Multiple members of Optic cornering their base, waiting for SSG to push forward here, and the bait and switch is going to take down 2 members of Space Station Gaming, make it 3, and now the defense should turn to offense. Eco takes down 1.
Multiple times now we've seen both teams trapped in their back base use the strategy of stalling, turtling up, creating that hard shell that is catching players by surprise. It's a trap that's been laid multiple times, and we've seen pushes stopped from both sides because of this strategy. But now Optic Gaming pry open with 2 down. Lucid's gonna have a free run. Legend's the only player that can stop it, but he's taken down by Formal on the other side of the map. I don't think there's anyone that can get in Lucid's way.
Kill. Formal and Trippy, both 19 kills apiece, double-digit assist as well. Their presence being felt here by Spacestation Gaming, and a large reason why they're able to put that second cap in is that firepower and those slays coming out of those 2 men.
Formal's just so damn hard to take down. He's able to get the reversal, and he might not just be done yet. Stellar just survives, but not before the rest of Optic is ready to attack. Doubles for Trippy as he's ready to hammer in through the doorway. Legend goes down. Trippy's on a rampage.
Jiggle peek. Bound has to forcibly go towards the util side and gets put down there. Trippy having one hell of a game here in your Grand Finals reset. It's a 2-1 series lead still for Optic Gaming.
Optic gets the flag out and the spawns are in. Only one player from Space Station getting that P-side spawn. Flag will be trapped down at the middle part of the map. It's going to be down to these slays first. Legend getting up that top control, but quickly taken down. This flag looking more and more likely to go over to Optic Gaming if they can just finish these slays. No, Bound able to eventually find that return, but control of the map still remains with the players in green.
Dead Zone being chased down. One shot. Legend not going to allow him to escape, and also grabs himself a thrust. He and Eco gonna work the fridge side of the map, and with those nades, it seems like Optic gonna have the knowledge that SSG are on the attack here. Dead Zone waiting for the push. The damage does go in. Thrust back for the fadeaway. Legend takes him down.
Lucid had to go on the hunt down into his base to get that kill, but the flag is being pulled. SSG, they've been trapped too far ahead. Formal took advantage of the timing. They get the flag out and away, and no one from Space Station is close enough to get the stop. What was such a dominant start to Space Station turns into a 2-capture lead for Optic with just over 1 minute and 30 seconds in this game.
Optic clearly not happy with the results of those final 3 games that put us in this bracket reset to begin with, and now they're simply playing angry. The green wall looking like the green monster, the Incredible Hulk on the map, as Lucid refused to go down easily, taking 1 down with them. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in regulation for SSG to not put in just 1 but 2 caps against the Optic Gaming defense.
Trade for trade Halo will be good enough for Optic at the end of this game. They just need to ensure that they take down their opponents with them. Do not let SSG have free reign. Do not go 3 or 4 down. And so far, desperate moves from SSG are required, and it's going to make the game state so much simpler for Optic, as they know, look for the direct routes, find these players, and hammer them down.
Time continues to wind down here. Like you said, SSG needs a few desperate attempts and needs to turn some lemons into lemonade real quick. Eco with the win against Trippy. He's been hot all game long. Dead Zone ends up going down as well. A 2v2 situation, and now 30 seconds, just 30 seconds on the clock.
This feels just impossible at the moment. There's no players from SSG that are forward, and it was such a resilient game from Optic Gaming. So many critical moments where they had to stand strong in their own base and were able to do it. And well, it was the 2 players in Trippy and Formal that just took their turns at making impact plays for their team. It lets them lead the Grand Finals reset 1-0 as they leave behind the last best of 5.
60 kills and 31 assists between the 2. Trippy and Formal taking matters into their own hands, and the damage, the shot, the pivs, the impact that they had on the map was real. On Aquarius CTF, game number 2 going to be Solitude Slayer, and if Optic play anywhere near the way they did on Aquarius, SSG, you're going to have your work cut out for you.
Look at the damage that those 2 did. 74 and 75 apiece. Bound and Legend were trying to keep up, but that was just clean Halo from Optic. And what was so impressive to me was how resilient they were. Remember, that one flag cap that Space Station had in the game happened within the first 30 seconds, but it wasn't like Space Station wasn't trying from there. They pulled plenty of flags throughout this game, but Optic Gaming had strong defensive maneuvers throughout, and then were able to take advantage of the game after they figured out what the strategy was from Space Station. They were noticing a lot of players playing deep into Optic's base. Well, they started to send players to overextend, trusting that their strong defensive maneuvers in their base would be enough to give them the overextend player timing to pull out flags. And what we saw, the dagger flag from Formal comes through with that third flag cap when he just overextends, pulls, and sees his teammates win the fights in the mid-map.
You gotta think to yourself, man, Optic just might have needed that break to refresh, because that game number 1 was a much different Optic Gaming that we saw in the last 3 that SSG were able to win in the dominant fashion that they did. They seemed reinvigorated, they seemed energized. Did Optic, that was a new energy that we just did not see at the end of that first series, but we're happy to see that here in that game number 1. For me, the question now becomes is, can you continue that? Can you keep that same energy going into game number 2 and beyond?
As we move on into Solitude, you have to think back of the last best of 5 in this grand finals, where it was Optic Gaming that came out strong out of the gate, winning the first game, but losing the Slayer by a significant margin, a 50-34 finish last time we saw them on the Slayer. SSG is one of the best Slayer teams around. It's going to be a tough game for Optic.
It's been an absolute banger of the grand final, some of the best in the world going at it, and let me tell you, far behind that bad kid Phantom in the chat right now. I promise you, in no way, shape, or form would he ever see himself in a lobby with any one of these players. We're talking about MVPs, we're talking about champions.
Well, you can't make it easier than that. Trippy could have gotten the collat if that was an S7. But the shock rifle can only take one at a time. The chain reaction wasn't enough to finish them off. And Bound, well, he suddenly found his teammate down, but he's the one that stays alive, and he might just get another. Oh, talk about showing resilience under pressure. Bound, he did not know what was happening for at least a second there, but was able to recover.
Damage coming down from Eco, but Trippy still keeping that reticle straight. Gets the kill before going down himself, and Bound, he flies in. He gets any kind of information, and I promise you, he's there, but apparently so is Lucid.
Lucid goes up this lift. He's going to be the isolated player so far, but he's influencing spawns. He's trying to make a decision whether he opens up that nest or whether they're going to try to collapse in on blue. He's going to block it off for now. All the players at Space Station's position should be known from Optic. It's just about executing on these slays.
On the hunt, Legend survives, thriving, getting his shock and finding the exit route, gets out of dodge real quick. And now it's Optic trying to figure out where the attack is coming from, because the other two of the members are off of respawn. The other 2 are trying to find some presence on the map and being attacked here by members of SSG. Aggressive is Bound and Legend just in the base, in the face of Optic at every given turn. And it's a 4-kill advantage once again for SSG.
You always want to try to stay out of that nest if possible as a team. Once you get spawn trapped there, it's so easy to collapse in. We saw Bound take advantage of those spawns, but he meant to grab that camouflage when he went top mid, but Dead Zone pushed him back, and it's becoming a much more contested fight for this camo that Eco's trying to get away with. He will pop it early. Formal's nades won't be enough, but boy, were they close. Eco just gets away with the camouflage.
Some great movement coming out of Eco to dodge all of those grenades and stay alive with this camouflage. And now it's on the attack. They go to the one-shot Lucid, the remaining member of Optic, towards the nest side. And look at how their reticles train on the staggered spawning members of Optic Gaming. Trippy's one shot, and Eco is here.
Trying to clean up the rest. Dead Zone will be able to find those kills, but not before this lead has really grown for Space Station. And this is going to be the concern of Optic. As they keep going down, the spawn traps become easier and easier for Space Station. They constantly know where these spawns are, and they're the ones that can choose how to push. Optic Gaming having to play reactionary Halo, and it's just so hard to find those opening slays when you are.
Bound is 12-3 at the moment here. The entirety of the Optic roster have 18 kills as a unit. Bound is 12-3, and Yeah, that one's on me. Yeah. I'll take it. That one was on me. My bad.
We might be getting a sense of deja vu. We saw a very similar scoreline just a series ago, and right now Space Station looks unbelievable. They are collapsing in on kills. Optic Gaming just can't get together, and it just seems as if this game is just so simple for Space Station. Optic needs to start complicating this game, getting more space on the map, making Space Station second guess where they're going. With these slays, they might have just done that. Camouflage is the next part of the equation. They have to find these opening picks and get away with this camo.
And for the first time this tournament, we're seeing Formal having a bad game. I mean, 2-11, we can't ignore that. Love the 4 assists, but just turned to 5 after that, but just not seeming to find the slays that he's looking for and can't seem to stay alive. Meanwhile, SSG have been able to identify where the spawners are coming from, and lots of time it's the first one he's coming up, and he's getting just pushed.
They have to find Legend. He's gone incognito on this map, and he is buying his time to figure out when he can collapse in, and here we go. He's gonna find all the weak players. It's gonna be all 4 that go down. Now watch how Space Station takes their space. They want to force a certain spawn here, and they're gonna get it. Loop is the spawn. All 4 players from Optic are up, and it's just so hard to battle out of these positions.
39-28 lead. SSG still having a double-digit lead. They hit the 40-point mark. Meanwhile, Optic are struggling just to get 30, and Bound not struggling whatsoever on the map. Another double kill out of him on his way to 15-6.
It's a cycle. They just keep they are able to keep putting them in these spawn traps, and they're flipping the map. At one point they get Loop. Once they get those kills, they spring back, block Blue and Loop, force the nest spawns. Once they kill that nest, they open up Loop, and they just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Once you do it, this game is it's over. I mean, there's just no way Optic can come back.
Kill.
One more player alive here after the 3 down for Optic. And he is able to find the back smack. It's going to be Formal towards the U-turn side. Creative plays out of him, but it is nowhere near enough, because that's 49 on the board here for Space Station Gaming. Just one more to tie up the series.
You can look at these best of 5 layouts side to side. You'll see something that looks real familiar. These Slayers are close in score. 50-35 the first time around, 50-33 the second. Space Station just looks like a dominant Slayer team at the moment.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here. Was back before that reset where Optic took game number 1, and a pretty decent one at that, but then SSG go back to back to back to close out the series. Well, game 2 goes to SSG, and it doesn't even seem close.
It was 25-34. All right, this game ends at 50-33. This run from Space Station was historic, but it all started here. Once Legend gets these kills, notice what Space Station does. They immediately push Bound over towards Blue, and they leave Nest trapped, and they start to take pressure towards Loot. Once they do that, they know that the spawn trap is secure. They're able to run in, and well, from there, it was just a matter of keeping the spawns in check. Easy game for Space Station in the second half. We move on to Stronghold's Recharge as our next game type. Optic Gaming needing to find some sort of solution.
Well, the good thing for Optic Gaming is that at least when they come off a spawn, they're not going to have somebody immediately in their face. I mean, Solitude is one of the most punishing maps for a reason. It is so easy to influence those spawns and easy to get from one side of the map to the other. Recharge, a lot more space to work with, and I think that's what Optic really need right now after a map like Solitude.
And Solitude's a map that can get out of hand early. You know, that scoreline doesn't necessarily show how, like, that Optic Gaming is necessarily bad at that map. It's just if you let a team put you in the spawn trap and get you 4 down, well, there's not many teams that can battle out of that, period. The problem for both these teams is that this is a map where that same situation can arise. The win condition for both these teams is the triple cap long haul spawn trap popularized by Quadrant in Season 2. You get that by controlling pipes, A, and White at the same time. Once you're able to do that and you have the trip cap, all the players will spawn over at that long haul, and it's just so easy to keep them contained.
Big trade on the board here, but eventually it's a 3 down for Space Station Gaming. And looks like Alpha is going to change hands, but so will Charlie, and it's up to Optic to attack Bravo.
Trippy understands that he does not have this for free. He's waiting for information about the players alive. Tries to work onto that double. Eco is able to get the kill, but not before Optic Gaming do start to score. B moves into their hands, and Dead Zone has a hard decision to make at front white. He's trapped between 3 players. Is able to at least get one before he goes down. But Optic Gaming stabilized. Wow, what a contain at B. They're going to be able to get an early outlet to A, and this should be scoring position for them relatively soon.
Big double kill coming out of Trip. They don't call him Big Game Trip for no reason. They're going to grab Alpha because of that, and already holding on to Bravo. Optic will take the lead with this Alpha Bravo setup.
Trippy's going to try to solidify their foundation over at gold. Bound is going to be the player that's trying to pry this one open, but with 2 players from Optic, this should be an easy kill, but Bound makes it tough. He stays alive and formal. He had left that fight to go out thinking that his teammate had it guaranteed. Instead, SSG have taken control of the pipes, and you see how they're trying to create an outlet towards A. Their eventual goal is not B, but rather to get A spawns.
And Bound trading out his life to take down formal SSG. Not quite able to take away Bravo. And right now, Optic doing a great job of zoning them out, but Legend flies in, able to finish off Bravo. 44 seconds in counting for Optic, but it is stopped short as Eco continues with the long range shots.
Lucid was doing his best to stay alive, but there's just not much he could do in that situation. Camouflage has moved into a player that just got the shock rifle, I believe, over at that B hold, so I'll have to try to keep our eyes peeled on that kill feed for a camoed player. There it is, Trippy. He went all the way from that shock rifle ledge to bottom white, earns himself 2 kills, and Optic Gaming are going to be able to stabilize because of those efforts.
64 to 11 lead here for OG, and Optic, at least Bound, doing a great job of staying alive towards that gold side of the map. Dead Zone dropping down, but doesn't have timing on his side. Bound's gonna make him pay for that one, and he's also gonna take away Bravo.
3 players down for Optic. Lucid's trying to do his best to maybe contest over at B, but there's not much that he could do, and this is where things can get dangerous. It was a temporary trip cap for Space Station, but those players at A won a huge fight.
Wow.
But they are not out of this battle yet. Bound can do so much more with this shock rifle.
Ugly Lucid survives, but not for long. Legend there for the cleanup, and doesn't have time to even go for that shock. Says, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the prize. I'm playing for Alpha.
You can see how Legend uses that left trigger aim. He was so fast on those rescopes there. And 3 players from Optic Gaming are trapped towards that B hold. They are starting to feel the hurt as players go down one after the other, and Space Station is just slowly crawling their way back into this game.
That was a momentary full squad wipe. We're gonna see if SSG can take advantage of that. You already have Alpha, you already have Bravo, but can you see where the push is coming from? And it's Trippy and Formal right out of the long haul side, demanding control of gold. Eco forced back.
Eco's awfully aggressive on that cross, understanding that he was the only player that could keep those 2 players in check. He kept being aggressive, forcing them to deal with him. He stays alive and eventually is able to work back with his team, and they get the kills at the right moment. Here we go. Dead Zone has to live at B. Things can get real dangerous real fast for Optic Gaming if they don't win those fights.
A triple cap out of Space Station Gaming is going to give them the lead here. Trippy is able to take away Bravo for Optic, but right now what matters is Alpha, and looks like they're manning that as well. Bound, meanwhile, with this camouflage, isn't exactly able to have the impact that he was looking for. He's going to collect a bit of a new angle, and that shroud should block off that line of sight.
Yeah, we don't see that too often in competitive Halo. That shroud usually used to secure a utility on the map, but cutting off that top A angle, allowing the players from Space Station to have freedom in the middle of the map. And well, you can see what that does for the team. It forces Optic to different angles. They get caught out. Space Station gets the clean wipe, and well, they're working on flipping control of these strongholds.
Formal on the push, able to get a hold of the shock, but can't stay alive. Bound and Legend are able to to focus him and bound with the double kill to Lucid. This man is absolutely out of control. He's playing like a man possessed. 17 and 8 right now is Bound. That was off of the crazy performance that he just had in the Slayer.
Bound still trying to do his best to stay alive. They are focusing him right now. 3 players change their attention towards Bound. It'll be Lucid that finally gets the cleanup, and well, he's trying to turn it to more. Gets the information to Trippy. Can Eco survive? No. Hill's captured. Camo in the hands of Optic Gaming, and the lead just theirs.
Dead Zone and Optic currently have the lead right now, and Bound moonwalks his way into a back smash around the Dead Zone. Now it's Dead Zone looking for his next target. It's going to be Stellar that's stuck over toward the seaside. They already have both Alpha and Bravo, so they want to be careful with this. Legend, he doesn't.
Dead Zone's been able to stay alive. Like you said, it's the moonwalk into the back smack because that player's moving backwards. Dead Zone sitting in the corner saying, hee. He knows what's going on. Nothing you can do about that one. And well, set up well is Optic Gaming. They have the cross towards in. Legend, his position's going to be known, but it's going to force Dead Zone into action. It's going to be up to these spawners of Optics to solidify their defense at A.
142 to 102. Is that what you're going for? I don't know what that was. You got to put some soul in there next time you try that. Come on, baby. God,
I'm trying out here, man.
You sound like a dying seal.
I can't get my voice that high.
142 to 115 in favor of Optic, but it's still Spacestation Gaming that are scoring, and Optic that end up going 3 down, and you don't want to allow this man with momentum and the shock. Trippy and Optic gonna shut that down as well.
Trippy taking some heavy damages. Stellar keeps them under check. Space Station scoring at the moment, and Lucid's gonna try to get themselves a home at C. It's important for him to focus on getting the kill on Bound first. Notice how he immediately pushes over to C. They have to find this player.
SSG back in the lead here. Lucid working with Formal to make sure that Bound goes down. The man's been on fire all game long. It's no wonder they're looking to prioritize making sure he's on the black screen. Dead Zone quick onto the Charlie push, but looks like Eco and SSG, they want either deal with Charlie or at least get their hands on his camouflage. Maybe a sneaky play out of Eco is what they need. Trippy and Formal with the bait and switch. Wow.
They play that so well with each other. Space Station's not done trying to commit to these kills, but that might just be their downfall. Bound was the last player around. He was able to get away with the camo, but can he get away with his life? Lucid's making it hard. That insta-explode, if it would have triggered, it would have been enough. Instead, Bound trying his best to stay alive, but hyper focus was Optic on the collapse.
SSG scoring once again, but looks like Bravo still being attacked by Optic Gaming, and I don't know where Lucid just came from, but Optic are happy that he is here. Clears out A almost single-handedly. Does Lucid, and they already have Charlie. Optic, couple round of slays away from taking Bravo, and they already have the lead.
You know, we talked about how the win condition for teams so often on this game type is the trip cap, but that's just been something that's so difficult to come by for both these teams thus far. But finally, it's been done. 3 caps is in. Optic Gaming have an opportunity. These next rounds of slays are going to be vitally important for Space Station. If they go down, Optic Gaming will have them in the chokehold.
Right to the sneaky, Stellar goes, and looks like they have to play for Charlie, and Formal understands that, so he's aggressive, but right into the shock and bandit combination out of Stellar. 3 down, go Optic. First step, take Charlie. Next step, push up over toward the Bravo side.
Space Station did a good job to get that 3 down, but they had to waste a lot of time to do so, and every second that you're in that trip cap, it's 2 points that go the other way. What was a close and contested game suddenly starts to be a giant lead for Optic Gaming that could finish the game here and now. Trippy versus Eco. Eco wins, but he had to jump out of the hill. Is there anyone close to contest? No! Optic Gaming, the trip cap seals it. They're up 2-1 in the series.
They weren't able to get it done in one series, but they're back to here to do it in the reset. Optic up 2-1 in the series, and this is the Optic Gaming that we wanted to see in that first version of the Grand Finals. 1 game away from finally taking the tournament here in 2024.
Folks, this has been an incredible grand finals so far, and it feels that Optic is taking final form. Look at that equal damage dealt. Everyone sharing the burden here today. Resilient thus far, and one game away is the green wall. If you're joining us, we're in our grand finals reset. Space Station coming in from the lower side have beaten Optic once before in a 3-1 finish one series ago. Optic Gaming have battled their way into match point, one objective away from getting the job done. Shout out to all those that are watching on multiple platforms. Our Twitch chat's been strong all day, but our YouTube is surging at the moment. I gotta give you guys a shout out. We got 2,700 people watching on the YouTube. And guess what? We hit 10,000 subscribers today. If you want to help keep that number going up and you're tuning in for the first time, well, we have tournaments all week long this week. You can watch them on the YouTube or Twitch. Tomorrow we have Free for All Friday and, well, the HCS the HCS Salt Lake City qualifiers this weekend. You can catch the action here, and well, we'd appreciate if you gave us some support on both those platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube, help us out on the Twitch if you have a Prime sub available. We will be going to Salt Lake City, and all the support that you guys have been giving us allows us to do what we do here today. Still in this series, Formals one game away for helping Optic secure their HCS Open Series victory. Space Station look to push a game 5. Oddball is the game type, Streets is the location. Let's lock it in.
If there's one player I'm gonna tell you to keep your eyes out on here for Space Station Gaming, is gonna have to be Bound, man. What an incredible series that he's had. Even in that game number 2, leading damage across the entire lobby is 6,000 damage. The man has been bringing the pain, and something tells me SSG gonna start playing better through that damage that he's able to create on the map.
Camo's up, but Space Station they surrounded Optic Gaming on the perimeters, and it eventually allows, I believe, Legend to get away with that camo, and Oddball to go into the hands of Stellar. Everything starts to move in favor of Space Station. A great start from them.
I swear, I thought Legend about to pick up the phone.
I swear, dude, he wanted to, bro. He's thinking about barking for a second.
18 points here for Space Station Gaming, defending the subway side for dear life as SSG, and Bound with the Stalker makes these battles a bit unfair to deal with, but Dead Zone takes him down, gets the Stalker out of his hands.
So far, a lot of back and forth on the slays, but ball has been firmly held towards Space Station Gaming's camp, and they've been able to reap the rewards because of it. Optic Gaming ready to push, but if they go first down, it's going to make life so much harder for them. Trades coming through. Lucid's broken his way into the back wall, into the back rank, but not able to find those kills. Space Station making this so tough for Optic.
Optic, who haven't been able to take a tournament on land just yet. This really is their final time to gain some momentum before Salt Lake City, the major qualifier. Neither SSG or Optic can play in it, so this really is the final time for them to really get some energy going before SLC and prove that they can beat SSG even in a grand final. Trippy, early kill, that's him that ball, and now it's active camouflage that both teams are going to be fighting for.
Optic Gaming was able to stem the bleed at 35, and with this camouflage, they might be able to start a counterattack of their own. Formal note does go down early. Space Station, they're going to lose the numbers, but at least they neutralize that camouflage to go with it. Optic Gaming, though, they have plenty of space, and Space Station's going to have to work through the map to get there. Dead Zone's going to lurk. Big thing for him, get information, try not to get caught out early. If you can find a backsmack or an easy kill, that's a benefit.
35-24 lead in favor of Space Station Gaming, and Dead Zone staying alive so well here toward the arcade side, but being chased away by Bound and SSG, and eventually leads to a 4-down full squad wipe.
Antonio, it's so, it's impressive that Dead Zone stays alive, but what's more impressive is how Space Station routes themselves. They understand there's probably a player lurking at B, and they're going to be at a disadvantage if they push through that lane, so they ignore it and essentially keep Dead Zone out of the fight. They push through the middle of the map and essentially are able to play a 4v3 style of Halo against Optic Gaming. Gaming. It's smart to recognize what the setup could be from the other team and try to find what the advantage is if you assume you know their positions. Dead Zone found himself out of the fight and Spacestation took advantage.
Nice points coming out of SSG right now. Optic find himself a bit behind and also not able to find those kills, and it's really tough to try to get any kind of ball time if you're not able to get the numbers on the opposition. 3 down go Optic Gaming. Almost 80 points here for SSG. Optic need to get the ball out of their hands.
Optic have been largely contained, and Stellar's been making this difficult for them. They have to track back to find that kill. Eventually the ball is thrown out. These next slays are what's going to dictate whether Optic can come back or not. Lucid's been an incredible part of this push from Optic, but he eventually is taken down by nades, and it's just formal by his lonesome. Spacestation stabilized, but the job not done yet. The spawns are at Red Room, and quick access for Dead Zone keeps that ball on the ground.
Big plays come out of Dead Zone. His team was 3 down. He really needed to take down that ball carrier, which able to do so, and he takes Legend out as well, puts him in the dirt real quick. It's only 10 more seconds needed for Spacestation Gaming, but they got to get through Dead Zone and this Stalker rifle if they want to get access to that ball, and Rico just did.
Dead Zone tried to put him on the splatter with that pancake. It doesn't quite work out, but the numbers keep dwindling down for both sides. The simplified game state, a 2v1 for Optic. They come out on top, but they must deal with the next wave of spawners. It's horde mode, as Optic Gaming knows Spacestation can just continue holding forward, as they just need 6 seconds to win this round.
Dead Zone and Trippy making sure that the coast is clear here as 3 down go SSG, and Optic should be hopping on that ball real quick. Stellar on the attack right through the mid-map, confident as he takes down Trippy, and that nade also took down Formal as well. Stellar making plays.
The players of Optic are caught out. Bound is going to be able to pick this ball up. There's no one with any quick access. The kills come in on the perimeter. Round 1 goes to SSG.
Ball dropped.
Take a look at some of the replays.
This is tough. This is so tough, right? This is what we're talking about when Dead Zone is playing over at B. They just don't even try to challenge him. They send all their players through the middle, and it just takes Dead Zone off the cross. There was no one to stop him, and you can see how that breaks their setup. Optic Gaming, they have to be a bit upset with themselves with how that one played out.
SSG up 1-0 in rounds right now, and looking to send us into a game number 5 here in your grand finals. Camouflage about to come up. It's an early lead for Spacestation Gaming, but doesn't really mean much. Trippy tries to get away, but runs into another battle and ends up going down because of it. Lucid's able to take down Bound, but Legend and Eco still working together here toward the A side.
Damage coming in on both sides, but SSG will be the team that retains control. Trippy, last player up for Optic, is trying to do his best to slow SSG down, and that pick might have just been enough. And this feels like a moment where Spacestation should be at 20 seconds of time. Instead, they find themselves a bit lagging as Optic Gaming are ready to attack once again.
Dead Zone is here, finds a crazy angle onto Stellar, but luckily Stellar had that Stalker to shut him down. Eco still here toward the back A. Trippy tries to make a play, but it's simply not gonna happen. 24 seconds to 0 right now for SSG, who are still holding on to the setup.
Into the back, Optic Gaming just having its struggles on getting to a position in which they can contest, and even when they do, you're gonna have to be wary of Stellar's red gun in the back pocket. Trippy's to the left. Stellar just did not know, and well, he thought he was winning the rotation. Instead, it was Trippy that had it blocked off the entire time. Optic Gaming have a successful trap and have taken control.
Trippy wants to get value here with the Stalker, passes that ball out and rains down the pain onto the remaining members of Spacestation Gaming on the rotation. Bound and Legend now kind of stuck over towards Subway. Stellar has made it through. Not for long. Somehow the nade from Formal takes down Bound, and the Bandit was there to finish off Stellar. 3 down for SSG on their way to an active camouflage. Setup is locked in for Optic Gaming, and they may just take the lead on that one.
I love how Formal plays that. He gets the camo, but he plays as if they are going to guarantee the win. Doesn't pop it right away, waits until 3 players are down, and then when he does pop it, he remains patient, doesn't shoot the weak player, understanding that a trade is the worst case scenario, but did you see Stellar immediately spot Formal out? The camo eyes on that man, it just does not matter with how crispy Formal shot is at the moment.
Make sure you're eating your carrots, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, Stellar's eating his. 49 points here for Optic Gaming. But Dead Zone gets backsmacked by Bound, and that's the first domino to fall to allow Bound and SSG to deny any more points here. Intercepted. Bound taking the ball out of the lifeless bodies of Optic Gaming.
Optic able to put 50 on the board before Spacestation was able to find the answer. Do that one more time, and he'll be the victor in this round 2, pushing us to a decisive round 3. Instead, Spacestation now have control and the utility in their back pocket as well. This is where it can get dangerous. Optic going 3 down. Yeah, it might have just been an equalized game at 57-all at the moment, but Optic Gaming are in a fragile moment. If they go down early, this is going to be a setup that Spacestation can hold for the rest of the game.
SSG with the lead, and Eco. Bird's eye view on the map from that heaven side with the Stalker. Really tough for Optic to deal with, and the man simply not missing shots with the red gun. Reinforcements are here, but Optic end up going 3 down. The final player is going to be Dead Zone toward the cafe side, but here comes Spacestation Gaming so quick together on the push.
Eco and the rest of Spacestation just 30 seconds away from pushing us to Aquarius to settle this. And there is no pressure from Optic. Camouflage is up and they'll have the ability to grab it, but Spacestation understands that. They laid on the perimeter and let Formal get this camouflage. We'll have to see if this is enough for Optic Gaming to break. They just have 15 seconds to do so.
Formal has to keep his eyes set on the ball. The ball looking to rotate around. A double melee trades out his life with Formal, but it's a 2v2 situation, and Trippy doing everything he can to stay alive, and Bound has been continuously just pushing and holding forward. He's the ultimate hunter here in this series, and Optic have been struggling to deal with it.
One final game. Slayer, Aquarius will settle it all. Spacestation with dominant wins thus far in the series, winning the Slayer by almost a stake, and well, the 2-0 in oddball. Last time Optic's been on the Slayer against this team, it has not been a pretty sight. A 50-33 in the winners bracket, in the grand finals reset, but also a 50-35 scoreline in the best of 5 before. It's going to be a tough road for Optic, but Aquarius is a map that helps them. No sniper rifle for Stellar to just instantly take over the game. This is going to be a tight one, Tony, and honestly, it's a coin flip on which way it can go.
It's been an exciting grand finals up until this point. Honestly, I feel like we would have been robbed if we didn't see a game 5 in this bracket reset. Optic and SSG playing right now like it's a major. It feels like playing right now like it's world. Both teams really want to win and gain that momentum on their way to SLC. This is the final open series before Salt Lake City, and we end up at SSG's house. But Optic looking to bring the house down.
And what was so impressive from Spacestation in this game was how well they contained Optic Gaming. They were doing such a great job of keeping them sidelined and not letting them hit those crosses. And Optic Gaming, they have to figure out their coordination if they're gonna have success in game 5. Aquarius is all about hitting the right timings and understanding how to get these breaks. Spacestation, they're gonna be able to set up, and they're a team that loves to collapse, something that can happen time and time again on Aqua Slayer. This will be a very tough game for Optic, but it will show how much they have grown if they're able to do it. This is a team that has been resilient, showing that they are not down and out. I thought everyone probably thought that this is just going to be an easy series for Spacestation after that best of 5, but they've come out with 2 decisive wins in the Flag and Strongholds in this series.
I talked about this in the lower bracket, or last time we talked about Optic Game, excuse me. This Slayer Aquarius is the map and game type combination that they did get upset in a game 5 by Pure even on land. So Aquarius Slayer, I would only imagine, is probably a map in game mode that they probably were focusing on, doing a ton of that film review like you mentioned before, getting them ready here for SLC. Well, this is an amazing test for Optic to see how far they have grown, to go in on a map and game mode combination that you lost in a game 5 in the past when it mattered most, and to beat a team like Spacestation Gaming, who you obviously are going to have to run into on your way to winning a land. There's only 2 more left: Salt Lake City and Worlds. If you're not ready, you better figure it out.
One last game in today's tournament, folks. Get yourself strapped in, get yourself ready. I want to give a shout out to those that have been supporting us here today. The subs have been coming through, and we just want to say we appreciate. Yesterday we had a huge sub train, and we got to hear MC Active Double E come out because of it. But I just want to give some love to everyone that's been helping. If you've been subscribed, like Reno or R Neo did just with his prime sub a little bit ago, that all helps us come and go out to these events and support what we're able to do here today. There is no big organization behind us at LVT Halo. We cover all these HCS events, but we aren't necessarily bankrolled by HCS or 343 Industries. No, in fact, it's all a grassroots community effort. It started with us supporting ourselves with our own events through LVT Halo, and then eventually the community started supporting us enough to allow us to hire out the talent that we do, and to ensure that we can go out and get paid for everyone's travel to these events, and make sure that they're paid when they come out to events. And well, that's thanks to people like White Sedge giving 5 gifted subs to the chat, or like Maniac KQC with his prime sub. Thank you everyone that's been supporting. And if you're watching on the YouTube, maybe go give us a sub over on Twitch, or just subscribe. It helps us out over there as well.
Optic and Spacestation Gaming gonna go at it one more time here. It's your grand finals reset. Only one team can be your champions.
Lock it in. First to 50, Optic Gaming tried to hold off a comeback. Space Station down 2-1 have just came off a dominant win in the oddball. The green wall, will it remain tall, or will Space Station topple it as they hit the stratosphere? First to 50 decides it.
That overshield was moved over to the top mid side, both teams having access towards it, but you gotta fight for it. And with a 3v3 scenario, Eco putting down the damage to take down Lucid. Maybe it's SSG that can get away with that overshield as Bound gets his kill as well.
Opening kills for Space Station, but no one went and grabbed that overshield. Pushed down into the bottom of the map. It's gonna be Bound that takes control of this P side, but they're almost caught by surprise at how open the middle of the map has been. Optic Gaming have turtled up in their back base and are making things difficult for Space Station.
3 down go Optic Gaming, and 10 kills have happened, and the overshield just getting picked up now. I was worried the players might have jammed the overshield at this point.
That's a delayed one, but it's 3 players from Optic that have to try to laser him down. Legend takes all the damage. He'll get a kill and an assist for 2 players of Optic to see the respawn screen, and he's not done yet. Legend is pressuring these players.
Confident Legend in the face of Optic Gaming, 11-4 run here in the beginning, and they don't want things to get out of control to Optic Gaming. The problem is that Space Station Gaming have no signs of slowing down whatsoever.
Doubled up on this lead. SSG have felt no resistance thus far. Optic Gaming need to change this momentum, and it might just be Dead Zone and Lucid that can work together to create chaos. Lucid in between everyone by getting damage down range. It's going to be up to Dead Zone to find the finishing touches as he's able to get 2. 3 go down for Space Station, and Bounce position is well known. This should be an easy collapse for the players of Optic Gaming and the start to their comeback.
Gotta love the recovery coming in from Optic Gaming, bringing us back within 3 and not allowing that game to get out of hands. Alleviating that pressure and now having control of the map. Overshield comes up, but once again being used as a bait, as 2 quickly going down for Optic, but Dead Zone waiting patiently, and here comes the rest of SSG.
Oh, once again, it's another overshield that comes up. That's quite delayed on the grab. It'll be the second set of extra shields that go to Space Station. Optic able to neutralize it early, but turtled up in their back base. All of Optic waiting for the push to come. SSG occupy all 3 lanes. It's just Trippy that remains on the outside, but Trippy causes all the chaos. The players held strong for as long as they could, and all of Space Station go down as a result. Optic Gaming just down 1.
Dead Zone with a huge double kill to slow down the momentum of Space Station Gaming, and Optic were the ones trapped in their base moments ago, but now it's SSG looking to break out of their spawn. The initial damage goes right down to Trippy, who uses the thrust to try to hit the fadeaway shots on Bound. Bound lives, but Lucid takes height here. SSG still with the lead. Now with a man advantage, it's a double push to try to get Lucid out of the P side of the map.
Eco will be successful at that, but Optic Gaming are winning in the numbers. They've taken the lead in the game, 21-20. Space Station are 3 down, and it's always dangerous when you go down at once. With 3 players hitting the respawn screen, it allows Optic to manipulate the map with their spawns. They know that Space Station's trapped at the utility. Now it's just a matter of execution for the green wall.
This once was an 11-4 lead in favor of Space Station Gaming in the early game, but you couldn't tell me that now, because it's been all Optic Gaming for quite some time now. 3 kill advantage and Formal pushing forward, navigating a 1v2, putting down the damage to allow Dead Zone and Trippy to get the cleanup kills. Once again, a 4-kill advantage, which feels like it's been the largest game. Optic have taken control seemingly out of nowhere, and oh my gosh, it's crazy.
It's the first overshield that heads over to Optic Gaming, and it's the first lead that starts to grow as well. 3 players from Space Station realizing that there is strength in numbers. Daisy chain their way forward to the utilities and shred the extra shields of Formal. That'll slow Optic Gaming down and allow Space Station to get some much needed space to breathe, but they have to execute on these next set of slays. Trippy with this thrust is the only advantage seen on the map as of right now, and Optic Gaming look for their reposition.
28-26 lead in favor of Optic at the moment, but Trippy does end up getting caught out. Legend with the double kill on the mid-map. Beautifully played by Legend, leads to a 3 down for Optic Gaming.
That's 5 deaths in a row for Optic without an answer. It shifts the lead over to Space Station Gaming, a 2-kill lead that they hope to grow. Optic able to get the lucky backsmack on Legend as he didn't check his left corner. Trippy caught by surprise at how easy that kill was, but mistakes like that can be the difference between a grand finals win and defeat.
Big game Trip doing it once again, but Bound with the shutdown can't exactly find the exit route. 2-kill advantage once again here for SSG, and Eco putting down that damage that leads Lucid right to Stellar.
Eco the vet, a world champion back in 2018, trying to lead his team to another victory. It'd be 3 in a row for Space Station here today and give them some much needed momentum moving into Salt Lake City, where they will make their home stand. I'm sure to see this matchup on land once again, but so far Space Station is battering through the walls. Nothing that Optic could do. It's just Trippy by his lonesome. He's able to find the kill, but it's just a stabilizing effort. With Overshield up on the map, Space Station's quickly moving their way to top positions to grab.
It's been back and forward all the way toward the 30-kill mark, but finally it looks like SSG are starting to pull away with it just a bit. 5 kills between the two as SSG now put their 41st on the board. Bound finds the double kill on the weakened players, leaving Trippy by himself. Tried to go in for the challenge, but the bait and switch once again coming out of SSG.
A massive nade catches Bound at the bottom of the map, and it might just be enough to slow Space Station down, and that's exactly what Optic needs to do, slow them down. It's just one wipe away. Space Station knocking on the door and completing the 2 grand final victories here today. No more deaths for Optic. Every death will feel devastating to their cost.
One squad wipe away from ultimately taking this game and this tournament. Things slowed down just a bit, but Bound, he doesn't know slow. Plays for the trade. Dead Zone's able to take him down, but that's 47 on the board here for SSG, and a full squad wipe, though, in favor of Optic Gaming.
It's not over yet. Lucid stands strong, gets the vital kill for his team. The best part, they minimize their death. Only one player getting traded out in that exchange. Optic Gaming remain strong. And you're going to see this game slow down. Spacestation knows how important it is for them not to give up unanswered kills. They control their destiny. It will be their mistake if they lose this game.
This game is going down to its dramatic conclusion here. 4 kills separating these two champions, but only 3 more kills needed. Make it 2, make it 1 after Eco taking down Trippy. Now goes in for the 1v1 against Dead Zone, who's left the 1 shield and hunted down. SSG have done it. They take your tournament.
Unbelievable. Optic took the lead in the mid game and looked to have control, but it was Legend that got the double kill, broke open the setup from Optic. They took the lead back. It never gave it to Optic again. They've hit the stratosphere, and Space Station remain atop 3 weeks in a row in the Open Series. The reigning champs at Atlanta, they just can't lose. Up next, Salt Lake City, their homestand, where they look unbeatable.
Optic Gaming have to be kicking themselves after that one. I mean, it is tough. You're making it into the grand finals through the winners bracket. That's your tournament right then and there. Not able to get it done in the first series of bracket reset happens, but having a second chance and looking fantastic in that game number 1, looking incredible in that game number 3. You had the lead after weathering an 11-4 storm that SSG were able to create over towards the mid game, and somehow you fall short once again, making it to the grand finals, but not able to get the win.
Well, it's been a rough couple weeks for Optic when it came to results in the Open Series and some of their scrims. I will say, this series, I think, going to give them a lot of confidence going into Salt Lake City. They were going toe-to-toe with Space Station. I think Space Station might consider themselves lucky to come out on top here. Big game Eco, 4,700 damage for his team. The vet getting the job done, and it was really his early efforts in the game that helped Space Station claim their victory here today. The Slayers, the big difference in this series. Not one of them going over to Optic, and it makes you feel like Arlington all over once again. When Optic was playing at home, it was the Slayers in the grand finals that did them in, and it'll be the Slayers in this Open Series that does it again.